Hey y'all, it's your girl Magic
That ninja.
and we are the two masked weirdos, and tonight is going to be a special show. It's going to be called Real-lationship Wednesday. And on this day we talk about real life issues in relationships. So, today's topic is submission.
Submission is being totally, I guess we say, subservient to a certain level and totally dedicated to that person. Sometimes someone confuse it with being a servant of some sorts. Like I said, being totally dedicated to your partner in certain ways. What about you, Magic? What would be your definition of it?
I don't really have a good definition of submission or being submissive because I am neither one. But if I had to say anything about submission, I would say to a certain extent, being receptive of your partner, of their wants, of their needs, and stuff like that. And with that being said, that's what leads into the negative connotation of submission. And I think a lot of people think that being submissive in relationships is bowing down, losing your identity, and just being totally subservient to another person. And that's why a lot of people don't want to be quote unquote submissive in a relationship. So, what negative things have you heard about being submissive in a relationship? What is your take on that?
It's not necessarily a favorite word of mine. But as far as the negative connotations I've seen is submission, a lot of folks when they mention submission, some mention it in a totalitarian way of things. As far as like, especially with men and women dealings, and usually when the word submission is brought up, a lot of times it's brought up in non-reciprocal type of ways. So rather than like both people splitting certain levels of love and care, a lot of the connotations that's gone with submission is it's more so like I said, a totalitarian type of relationship is made like less about just giving to each other and rather into one person. A lot of times heard of these men like online, asking to a certain level of submission. It's always, or most cases, in a totalitarian type of level, to where, or they feel they're the dominant force here, so they feel like their woman has to cater to their every needs rather than both catering to each other's needs. And that's kind of what I have a problem with. So that's
Wake up, wake up, wake up. This man was just asleep. That's why he has no energy tonight. Wake up.
yeah, a little bit, but that's just my take on it.
So basically, in a nutshell, we both get irritated at the word submission. I feel like it's a trigger word because a lot of people use it in the wrong way and they don't understand what it means. And also, a lot of people honestly aren't even worth being submitted to. They make all these demands. They think that they are the king or, in certain people's cases, the queen of a household, but they don't even do anything to deserve that title. But they expect the other person to submit. And we don't like that. We don't like that. We feel like relationships should have reciprocity. We feel like relationships should be equal and
Some level.
at least some level. Yes, okay, I guess I wouldn't expect a man to do woman's work or a woman to do man's work, but at the same time, it's 2020, y'all. What exactly is a woman's work? What exactly is a man's work? We aren't living in the 1950s anymore. If the man cooks, hey, why don't you be a good person and wash the dishes? Or vice versa. There are no real gender roles, at least I don't think, in the home. But except, I'm not going to change my own oil and I'm not going to change my tire and, stuff like that. But, it's okay. But that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean I can't. That just means I don't want to. But that doesn't necessarily mean, oh, just because you're a woman, you can't change your oil. Just because you're a woman, you can't change your tire. It's just certain things that I don't like to do.
Certain things that person might not be into that you are, and there might be certain things that person does that you might not do, and that's how you two come together at certain levels.
Basically, in a nutshell, there's a balance regardless.
Checks and balances.
For all those fake YouTube, fake Facebook gurus that are always posting stuff about women and their gender roles and women being submissive and all that stuff. Let me know because we both can't stand those people. So let me know how you feel about people like that on Facebook, that we constantly troll, by the way. By the way, we are some of the world's best trollers, and we love making fun of these people. But since we got your attention right now, please, Ninja, please tell them how you feel about these self-proclaimed Facebook, YouTube, whatever gurus on submission.
Don't let me start on these fools. My thing and issue with a lot of these, so-called, gurus and relationship expert, they think of themselves a lot of times as, the high and mighty and the standard, to all levels of men. And, sometimes it be women that do the same. But I was speaking for myself as a man. This is the same formula that I see with them. This is what the level of man is supposed to do. This is what the woman's supposed to do. If the woman doesn't follow this certain standard of whatever this fake guru has to say, then she is less of that. And these same folks tend to go by the same formula. They talk about independent woman being bad, or dealing with somebody with children being particularly bad. And the crazy part is some of these gurus, and this is laughable. Some of them literally, have children with women that they didn't particularly stay with, or a certain level of hypocrisy that comes with it. And I've never particularly understood that. It actually baffles my mind that these folks can really think that they have some level of authority to speak on what other people do in their particular relationships, and they're not even necessarily having particularly good ones themselves. But that's my take. I have a lot more to say, but I'm gonna give it to Magick real quick, because I can talk about these fools all night.
Oh my gosh. And don't be a woman that tries to come up against these so-called gurus, because then, as you being a strong woman or an independent woman, all of a sudden you're masculine. Oh, I love that one. And, with me, I mean, naturally, my appearance, I'm a tomboy. Right now I got an oversized t-shirt that's like 3 sizes too big. Got my hair pulled back in a low ponytail. I could put on a freaking low brimmed hat and some sneakers, and that's just how I dress. I talk aggressively, if you guys haven't noticed, by every single broadcast. I talk aggressively. I don't need any help. Yes, I accept it, but I don't need any help. Like, he wants to help me bring the groceries in, and sometimes I'll be like, nah, I got it.
That doesn't stop me from being the level of person that I am to be like, nah, forget that. Grab every last single one of the bags.
Well, yeah, but that also goes back to the whole reciprocity thing. But yeah, I am, I guess, what these fools would call a masculine woman, because I am independent and I get out here and get it. And I don't need a man mentality.
Yeah. Oh, and don't be one of these brothers that are fully supportive and expressive. They like to use these old like pimp type of terms like simp. Woo! These boys love to use that word simp. And how I've heard from simp is like pretty much in pet terms somebody that goes down for like a woman that's not necessarily reciprocal to their level, that they try to purposely go extra and beyond to get a woman's affection to no avail. But it's gotten to a point where now they even overuse simp so much that they use it even in terms of reciprocal relationships, just because that you don't particularly agree with them, and that's just so folly to me.
Yeah, like, you're not being a simp if you're treating your lady. You're not being a simp if you're changing her tire. You're not being a simp if you're dropping money in her account and helping her out. It's not being a simp, especially if you two are in a relationship, an understanding, loving relationship, and she is being reciprocal of that behavior, if she is being grateful of that behavior. Now, I do believe that a man is being a simp if he's out here, dare I say, tricking, you know, going after, who is going after that woman that I wouldn't say is highly unattainable, because anybody can attain a woman with the right method, with the right formula. Anybody could. But don't, I don't know, I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't overexert yourself for a woman that doesn't care about that kind of reciprocity. Then I feel like, yeah, that's a little bit of simping. That's just a little tiny bit.
Right.
But two people who are in a loving, caring relationship that is full of communication and understanding, if that man chooses to do a little bit extra for his girl, or if that woman chooses to do a little bit extra for her man, that's not simping. Can y'all please stop using that word? We hate it.
That word in the journal has been overused for years by people who, honestly, the funny part about it is a lot of these so-called gurus that sometimes use this word. The problem is they used to be former simps.
Basically, what it is y'all, I'm gonna keep it real. Yeah. I'm gonna keep it real. Okay? These dudes have what I call little PP energy. I'm not going to say the word because I'm trying to get monetized on YouTube. By the way, speaking of YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube tomorrow, we really appreciate it. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you give this video a share. And make sure you tell all your friends about it, because we're telling you the truth.
Yes.
We are telling you the truth right now. You know, these dudes have little PP energy. Their baby mama, which is another word I hate, but they love using that word because they fake like to empower women or empower men, but also disrespect women and men at the same time by calling them simps and masculine, right? But somebody hurt their feelings back in the day. So they have this energy and they just want to spread their hate and their misinformation to people. And they think that that's the formula that works. No, because if you found a woman that would actually treat you well, and if you weren't going after that quote unquote unattainable woman, you wouldn't be feeling this way. You wouldn't be on Facebook posting every single day about the masculine woman or about the simp man. You know what you would be doing? You'd be hugged up watching a movie.
I like to use when referencing these types. It's usually sandbox hurt, and by when I say sandbox hurt is folks sometimes
We'll say what again? What is the word?
sandbox hurt, and
Sandbox hurt. I ain't never heard this one, y'all. Let's let him explain this one.
oh sure, this is my favorite part. Okay, so when describing sandbox hurt, basically it's when folks have had and this isn't like I said, this is in terms of men because I'm speaking as a man myself. When these men they've have past relationships or back in high school they couldn't attain a particular woman that they wanted, and they necessarily they blame certain aspects. They'll blame that, okay, oh, she just wanted thugs. She wanted a certain type, and they feel like they were the overlooked type. And what these folks fail to realize is, necessarily, either their level of personality wasn't up there for that person, or maybe that person just wasn't for you, and that there are people that could be for you and share your core values, but you're so focused on the ones that particularly rejected you at some level or treated you a certain way, if you did go in a relationship with certain people, that you put this on other folks. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that there's not women that do that, but I've seen especially a lot more of these men that be doing their worst these days. And that's always been confused me on that, because I'm like, dude, I'm always emphasizing towards men to always have some sort of self-healing as well. Y'all want these ladies, in your words, to choose better, but are you also doing the means to choose better if you constantly talk about how you come across more of these bad women than the latter?
Sandbox hurt. There's a lot of people sandbox hurt. We can talk about a lot of people that are like that. As a matter of fact, if you look at people that just get on Facebook and they're consistently ranting about one thing, it's like it's their life goal or life mission to rant about that one thing. Be careful of that person. They don't mean no good. They are coming from a place of hurt, and now they want everybody else to hurt. And I guess in a way that could be some great content because, everybody loves the Eeyore. But we're going to give you the real. And the real is, like I said, if you are in a relationship with a person and you guys have a loving, caring, understanding of each other, one is not trying to outdo the other, both of y'all are trying to get it, and you're not focused on any outside stuff, whatever, influences, then you would, like I said, you wouldn't be on Facebook ranting about low key some girl that hurt you back in high school, like Ninja said. And you know what's crazy? That girl done moved on, and you still talking about her. You still hurt. Like you, sir, you look like the simp.
And to also further go on, you have some people that feel like because you come from a necessarily a certain background, or you would never caught up in a certain level of criminal activity, that puts your standard up higher. No, I guess I would consider myself a certain nerd or geek level, and I know personally friends like women that have dealt with no level of quote unquote thug and have dealt with the nerd types, and these quote unquote nerds have been no better to them than your average street dude. And I hate that particular stereotype that having a certain background means that you're going to be potentially a good or bad partner. Because I know folks that have come from rough backgrounds, and they've had necessarily good standing relationships with the women that they've been with, even married to that at some point. And I've heard guys that would be considered like nerds or upper class guys that have beaten their wife or treated her a certain way or cheated on her. And I say that to say that it's not necessarily the background, but the person's character that determines those type of things. If your character is horrible, it doesn't matter like what type of background that you come from, you're going to be horrible to that person, period.
How do we deal with these Facebook and YouTube and other podcast gurus that are always talking down to people and making people feel bad for wanting to be in a submissive, caring, loving relationship? How do we deal with these kind of people? Now, me and him, I mean, we just troll. As a matter of fact, I am one troll away from being banned off of Facebook for for going against these type of people. And I'm not lying, y'all. Check my rap sheet. I'm not lying.
She's not like I have like my main page literally in Facebook jail off of some stuff like that.
Oh yeah. How many more days are you in Facebook jail, by the way?
Well, I get off on the 29th, so probably 19 days left, I believe.
Free that ninja, y'all. 2020. Free that ninja. As a matter of fact, when you share this hashtag, free that ninja.
Free that ninja. I didn't do it.
Yes, he did.
Like you know how you always had like that one homie that folks are like free the homie, but then the homie like literally did some wild stuff. I'm like that.
Oh my gosh. And we don't even be saying bad stuff. We just
That's the messed up part.
look, that's the worst part. That is the art of being a troll. As a matter of fact, we should make like a YouTube video and just do compilations of the different trolls. I think that would be a great video of the different like ways that we've trolled people and got in Facebook jail. Cause it's never like a hate speech. Like, you know how you get reported on Facebook, your comment gets reported. Like, it's never a hate speech. It's never like violence towards a person. It's never anything like that. I always get banned for telling somebody the truth.
Right. right, and the person that gets crybaby and reports it, puts it down either as hate or speech or bullying when it's neither.
Yo,
And somehow the Facebook algorithm decide to be like, you know what? Let me go ahead and put them in Facebook jail.
oh my gosh. I'm so tired of being in Facebook jail, y'all. I am so tired. I just need to stop telling people the truth. Like, I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm just telling you guys, or these fake gurus, like, look, what you're saying is not it, and I wish you would stop saying that. I don't know how many of these folks I have shut down. Like, oh, and then they are the worst, right? They sit there, it's like they're purposely trying to troll, but my troll power, my HP, my EXP is up on a higher level and they don't understand.
And my RPG folks, y'all get those terms.
I know. we're, we're such nerds. But anyway, but they don't realize there's literally levels to this stuff, right? Hey, cute circle, I see you. Thank you for telling everybody to share this broadcast. We appreciate it. But yeah, like, they don't understand there's levels to the trolling. So they put up these posts to bring people in and to start conversation. I get it. I understand your hustle. That's smart. But then when you question them, or you, because they are the ones that are always posting about this particular subject, the ones with the little PP energy, right? They're always posting the subject over and over again. So you go on the post after you haven't been on their post because you're tired of seeing them. So you finally go on their post and you be like, what exactly do you mean? What is your angle for calling independent women masculine? What is your angle for always going after women that just don't want to take any stuff from men? What is your angle? And then they become evasive or even passive aggressive. Don't you just love that?
Or they want to either switch over the question, or they might even block you for even necessarily putting out a difference of opinion compared to theirs. And if they all particularly block you, they might particularly report you for it.
And then you get in Facebook jail. Oh my gosh, y'all. So basically, submission, being submissive. It doesn't have to be a negative word, but a lot of these fake people make it a negative word. But then they also don't define or have a definite definition of what submission is. So once again, we're going to tell you what it is and what it should be. Submission is not a power play. Submission is not, I'm better than you because I'm the man. Submission is not, I'm the queen of this household and you do what I say, even though that's what I say. But that's besides the point, okay? Don't listen to me, but listen to me. But real stuff, y'all. Real stuff. Submission should be a definite conversation that you have within in your home. It should be about coming together as one, submitting to each other's needs, not your wants. Who cares what you want? What do you guys need? Submit to that.
I've been on this particular plan, 31 years of life. I've had my father in my life, particularly 15 years of my life, rest his soul. And I've never heard this man ever use the word submission around me. Never. I've seen this man literally do above and beyond as far as his duties as a father and as a husband in terms of dealing with a mother who had multiple sclerosis. And if you are familiar with the illness that is multiple sclerosis and how it affects the nerves and things, then you understand how difficult that is, both for the person that has it and the ones that have to take care of that person. And he did above and beyond on this, and then on top of that working, and then on top of that, cooking and things herself. And before her illness got even worse, she was willing to do the same. So, and even when it came to the table, another thing that these men like to bring up is, the who gets served their plate first.
Oh my God.
Oh, I hate that one too. And my father, his mentality was that we as a family, particularly eat together. It's not about who gets what first. It's the fact that we as a particular family, we come together and eat. And I even still hold that mentality to this day. We come to eat together as a family. So that's another one that's a particular pet peeve of mine with some of these gurus.
Let's just stop calling them gurus and call them what they are.
Yeah.
They are simps with little PP energy, and we're tired of them putting out false information to you guys. If you guys are sitting next to your girl, or you ladies are sitting next to your man right now listening to the Two Masked Weirdos on our podcast, then just give them a hug and just discuss constantly being receptive of each other's feelings. Have conversations that y'all need to have. Nobody's better than anybody. Y'all are in this together. And it is not a bad thing to be treated or to treat.
Spoil each other. It's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, especially when the other person is willing to do the same.
Exactly. So the point of this show is there is no such thing as submission in a good, loving, caring relationship. And please stop giving these, what do you call them? Sandbox
Hurt people.
Sandbox hurt people a platform to speak. Shut them down and get rid of them. Stop giving them the publicity that they do not deserve. They don't know what they talking about. Because if they did, they wouldn't constantly be on this civil crusade to bring down the simp man and the masculine woman.
And then on top of that, they wouldn't need to do it constantly, and they wouldn't have to overly try to prove their point.
Exactly. So, I think that's a good way to end the show. I think you guys need to really reevaluate your lives and your relationships. Oh, and before we go, we want you guys to contribute to the show. This is Relationship Wednesday. Actually, we're calling it Real-lationship Wednesday because we are going to give you a standpoint from the man's point of view and the woman's point of view. Real live stuff that you can use in your real life. We want you guys to write into us at the2maskweirdos@gmail.com. And if you have any questions about your relationship, any questions about dating, any questions about whatever that encompasses relationships, period, please go ahead and run to your Google mailbox and send us an email because we will read it on the next show. So yeah, y'all, this is the Two Masked Weirdos. This is Real-lationship Wednesday. And we're going to go ahead and end the show. Once again, thank you for tuning in. If you're on YouTube, I ain't going to tell y'all twice, even though I'm about to tell y'all twice. Please hit that like button. please hit that subscribe button and that bell and share this broadcast to anybody that you feel you can help with this information. And on that note, we'll see y'all in the next broadcast. Bye.
See y'all next time. That ninja out.